This group of 7- and 8-year-olds were waiting eagerly outside the door. And as they rushed in, as the doors opened and they rushed in, they ran up to the table and they started poking at them. And they started trying to wiggle the toes and trying to put all of their weight on the cheetah leg. These 7- and 8-year-olds put their hands on, touched, played with, experimented with, were fascinated with 12 prosthetic legs. 12 sets of prosthetic legs. Amy Mullins had invited all of the kids in to take a look at what she wears from the knee down. All of the different versions of her legs. And as they were poking and prodding and playing, she said to them, "Hey kids, I have an idea. I have this idea that I want to be able to jump over a building. Nothing too big, maybe 1 story, maybe 2 stories, but I want to be able to jump over a building. If you were going to build me a pair of legs that would enable me to be able to jump over a building, what kind of animal do you think we should use as a model? Or, if you could build a pair of legs based on a superhero, what kind of superhero would you use to build a pair of legs?" And the kids, one by one, raised their hand and said, "Oh, you should be a kangaroo. Oh, no, a frog. You should build frog legs. How about the Incredibles or Go-Go Gadget?" They had instantly all these ideas about how to design legs so that Amy could jump over the house. And then one little 8-year-old raised his hand and he said, "How come you wouldn't want to fly?" And Amy said, "Yes! Wow! Why was I limiting it to jumping?" You see, Amy Mullins was born without fibula bones. At the age of 1, she had both of her legs amputated from the knee down. And she learned to live her life thinking outside the box. Thinking outside what people told her was possible. She works as an actress, a model, and an athlete. She was the first person that had designed the carbon fiber cheetah legs that many disabled athletes use today to compete in Olympic Games, and she broke world records at the 1996 Paralympic Games. She said recently at last year's TED Talk, when she came back to speak, she said, "I had to imagine my life because what I do had never been done before. I had to envision what was possible for me because there was no role model for it. And that freedom of not having limitation, of having to follow in someone else's footsteps, literally footsteps, enabled her to create a life that is magnificent." You see an example of all of her legs here. The first one is the cheetah leg, the first one on the left, that enabled her to compete in the Olympics. Then she has a leg that she uses just for sandals walking around town. The next one has actually shock absorbers in it. She lives in Manhattan and she walks a lot. And she says, and that one's more comfortable. The next pair is carved out of wood. She was a model for a fashion designer in London, and they made her legs out of wood, and she wore them on the runway. She has a variable in her height from 5'7" to 6'1", depending on what shoes and what legs she wears. And one of her friends said to her when she walked into a party at 6'1", she said, "Amy, that's not fair." She said, "Yep." She said, "It's very interesting how people treat me." She says, "I have less prostheses in my body than Pamela Anderson, but nobody thinks of her as disabled." She's redefined what it is to imagine your life. And those children that she had in the room with her helped her even think beyond her limited thinking. How often do we allow the adults in our lives, sometimes that's ourselves, right? Squelch our possibilities. Say, we can't do that. It's too hard. I can't. I have this disease. I have this disability. I have this situation. This is the reality. And we use it to squelch and damp down our vision, our imagination, our possibility. Today, right here and right now, as we start this next season, we get to spring forward to a new way of being, a new way of holding that, a new way of releasing those thoughts, those beliefs, those learned behaviors that stop us from achieving everything we could. She said, I have never felt the ground under my feet. Never. But I say ouch when somebody steps on my toes. That is the imagination that I wish for all of us and for myself. That is the imagination that will propel us all forward. Today we're looking at our new vision statement. Our vision statement. Now our vision statement is different than our mission statement, which Teresa read for you earlier. Our vision statement is what we want to be, what we see ourselves becoming. Our vision statement is jumping over the house and then flying in midair. Our vision statement is our North Star. It is that object out there that keeps us moving forward and moving towards it. It is our guidepost. It is our sentinel that keeps us always moving in the right direction. As we move into this next phase of our lives and as our community's life, it is time to take our North Star, to set it firmly in our sights, and to move steadily towards it. Always knowing that with Spirit, all things are possible. With belief, we can achieve anything. That North Star will guide us through turbulent times. It'll guide us through times when everything's going smoothly and we think we don't have to participate. That North Star will always be there as a beacon for us. So this is our new vision statement. We are a vibrant spiritual community, honoring the divine presence in all and radiating the unity message through loving service. Why don't we all say that together? We are a vibrant spiritual community, honoring the divine presence in all and radiating the unity message through loving service. So once again, there are a lot of words, right? And it depends on what you mean by them. How you might apply these as a North Star. First one is, again, like last week, we. There is a group and a community here that we get to do this together with. And that we get to hold each other accountable, and we get to hold each other up. Right? Two different things. We get to call each other up higher, and we get to lift each other up when we stumble, when we don't quite meet the bar. So we together come together to do this thing, to hold this vision for unity. We are vibrant. Let's just stop at vibrant. What does it mean to you? What would a vibrant community mean to you? Right? Would it mean more music, more classes, more resources, more attendance, more interaction, more opportunities to serve? What would vibrance be to you? Vibrant, for me, holds this concept of constantly growing, constantly changing, constantly there, moving back and forth. So people come and people go. People stay till they have what they need and they move on. People provide for others. People support each other. Vibrant, for me, would mean not having to worry about finances. That doesn't mean that there won't be things we will want to save for. That doesn't mean that there's not things that we will have to put off. But it means that we have a solid base from which we know there is an inexhaustible supply, right? And that we can do the things that we decide together are ours to do. We can know that our bills are paid and that we can plan for a future, not having to worry about where it's going to come from or if it's going to show up. Vibrant means that we know we have the resources within us to do what is ours to do. Now, that might be energetically, that might be in manpower, that might be in financial resources, but it is ours. We are a vibrant community. People learning, people growing, people resting, all in this same place, in this same community. And then there's a qualifier for community, right? And the qualifier for community is we are a spiritual community. A spiritual community. We're not a material community. We're not a social community. We're not a psychological community. We're not here to fix each other. We're not a medical community. We're here as a spiritual community. And spiritual community for me, again, means that which is beyond understanding, beyond the limits of physical space and time, and beyond our human experience. Yes, we are spiritual beings, meaning that we come from some place that's not limited, that our true nature is unlimited, and we have this experience right here and right now, and what we would call the divine. We are a community steeped and based in spirituality. That is our primary purpose. Yes, it's wonderful that we have a social aspect here. It's necessary that we interact and love and support each other. But we do that because we are spiritual in nature. So once again, we get to remember that this is our North Star. We are a vibrant spiritual community. Is it always showing up right here and right now? No. No, it's not. Can we be honest? Is it always showing up? Are we always showing up like that? No. But this is where we're headed. And this is what we call each other to. Kangaroo legs, frog legs, or flying. We set the vision. We set the course. We honor the divine presence in all. That's a great statement, right? We honor the divine presence in all. Part of me, when I hear that statement, I heard it for the first time, was like, oh yeah, because there's a lot of spiritual communities, there's a lot of religions out there where it's not all right to be gay. It's not all right to be a different religion. You're going to hell. Not all right not to be religious. Not all right to be religious. Right? There's a whole sect out there that say, Oh my God, those spiritual people. And some of them sit in this room, right? That blame others. But if we're different than that, then how come we're talking about them and laughing? We honor the divine presence in all. In all. The people who believe in spiritual practices, the people who believe in religion, and the people who don't. The people who believe that you have to believe a certain way, and the people that don't. The people that believe in God, and the people who don't believe. Are all we honor. We honor them. And that, for me, is something that I have to constantly remind myself. That there is no them. There's only us. There's only all of us. That thing that I think someone else is doing that's wrong, I also do. If I'm really honest. If I'm really, really honest. So this is a call for us to honor the divine presence in everyone. To be bigger than we are today. And to honor all paths. All paths. I want to breathe into that because I think it deserves it. Right? I love unity. It has absolutely changed and saved my life. But when we think we're better than another spiritual path, we're on dangerous, dangerous ground. We honor the divine presence in all. And that is a North Star for me, and I hope it is for you. And radiating the unity message. The unity message boils down to this for me, is that my own thinking is what imprisons me. Annalie Cady wrote it in Lessons in Truth over 100 years ago. Freedom or bondage? Which? Freedom or bondage? The unity message is that our beliefs shape our world and shape our experience. And which do you choose? Which do you choose? We will give you the tools, we will give you the practices, we will give you the space to figure it out. But our own negative thinking is what is limiting us. Our own negative thinking is what is keeping us down. And some days, ain't it the truth? Right? When I was a little kid, my father hated it when we would say, I can't. One day he made my sister memorize this poem. Can't is a word that is foe to ambition, an enemy ambush to shatter your will. Its prey is forever a man with a mission, and bows but to courage and patience and skill. It springs from the lips of the thoughtless each morning and robs us of courage we need every day. So whatever the goal you are seeking, keep trying. Keep trying. And answer this demon by saying, I can. I can. We can radiate the unity message by realizing that it is us that needs changing, not the world. It is us that needs to be the light, the message, the messenger, the one transformed. We radiate the unity message by saying, I can. I can. And through loving service. Loving service comes in many different forms. But again, the great qualifier is loving. What is it? Is it the people here today that made this service possible, who sing, who open the doors, who greet everyone here, and making food for us? The ones who gather coats and hand them out to the homeless. What other forms of service are we called to do and be? Once we've looked at ourselves and once we're on the path to changing our own thinking, how do we extend this out? Unity historically has not been a community of doing outward service in the world. Unity historically has said that we do our own inner work, and by that transformation we transform the world. We provide very many resources in the daily word, in silent unity, and other resources to help the planet transform. But do we have a soup kitchen? No. Do we do those kinds of services? Depends on the Unity church you go to. But for Unity of San Francisco, this community has said this is our growing edge. This is where we need to be. We need to stop worrying about ourselves and start worrying about others as well. Or maybe both at the same time. We spread the Unity message through loving service, both internally and externally. This is what we're called for. This is what we get to vision. And I like to call it InVision. I-N-V-I-S-O-N. InVision. Meaning that we hold this in our own thoughts, our own kangaroo legs, our own frog legs, our own wings, so that we fly through this vision statement, and it keeps us moving forward. It keeps us moving forward in all aspects of our life. So there is no destination. There's no finish line. There's no reaching the North Star. Right? We're not going to the North Star, but it's guiding us to get where we are. Isn't that strange? It's a strange concept, right? The North Star, you use it, but you don't go to the North Star. You go on the road you're on. Right? And when you do, you experience heaven on earth because you have that beacon, that vision, that light that you move towards. So we keep marching towards the North Star on earth. And as we hold these principles, this vision in our minds and in our hearts, we experience heaven right here, right now, amongst us, within us, around us, at hand. Each one of those versions you can find in Scripture. The kingdom of heaven is amongst you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Because they're all true. Because there's not a limited body. Heaven's not a destination, but a place of consciousness. Walk towards your North Star. Walk towards this North Star and experience heaven right here and right now. Envision with me a vibrant spiritual community, honoring the divine presence in all, and radiating the unity message through loving service. Namaste. Namaste.
Let's take this now to our time of meditation. that we are so blessed. And as we are blessed, we bless. We bless ourselves, our community, and our world. And in this time of meditation, just take a moment to really consider how you imagine your life. How do you use all of your sets of legs? What is your North Star? And what kind of expression are you being called into? What calls you? What drives you? How is your North Star leading you to the expression of your highest and greatest self? Your still small voice will speak to you if you listen for it. Your still small voice will help you bring forward your gifts so you can be of loving service to yourself, to this community, to the greater community, and your world. Your North Star is leading you on the path of your highest and best, even if you don't know what that is. Follow your heart's message, and all will be revealed to you as you follow this North Star. Consider this now as we rest in the silence. As you begin to bring your awareness back to this time, in this space, in this room, know that your gifts, your imaginings, your impulses are all signs that you are following your North Star, your true path, and that your gifts, your creativity, and your imaginings are a gift to you to give to yourself, this community, your greater community, and your world. And as you do, step by step and piece by piece, you are creating heaven on earth.
I am so glad.